Rearrange the furniture.
Rearrange my gut.
Welcome to Bad Movies Deep Dive. Barbie and Kendra crash Joe Bobb's drive-in in Jamboree. Runtime is 50 minutes and 52 seconds, but 3 to 4 of those minutes are just credits. So we're talking about a 46 to 47 minute movie. This is the synopsis. Barbie and Kendra race to save Joe Bob Briggs' drive-in from a land baron's plans for a golf course while professing their love for Joe Bob and his sidekick, Darcy, hoping to catch a terrible movie in the process. So it was directed by Charles Band. Charles Band. So, okay, if you know bad movies, fun bad movies, you know Charles Band. Evil Bong series, he directed all of them, produced them and all that. The Ginger Dead Man, Trancers, Doll Man vs. Demonic Toys. This guy is a mainstay with Full Moon Productions, and everything he does is gold when it comes to bad movies. Written by Shane Bitterling, Puppet Master X, Axis Rising, Ouija's Halloween Night, 13 Slays Till Xmas, and it was also written by William Butler. He did the Baby Oopsies series. That's a Full Moon. Beyond the Resonator, Full Moon. But he also did Return of the Living Dead, From the Rave to the Grave, and Return of the Living Dead Necropolis from the mid to late 90s. I saw Rave to the Grave. I don't know if I've seen Necropolis. I'll have to check that one out. So he actually has something decent there with, well, I mean, they're not good. But they are connected to the Return of the Living Dead franchise. So, it stars Cody Renee Cameron as Barbie. She was in El Camino, which was that Breaking Bad movie. And then she did Neon Demon, Evil Bong 888. It also has Robin Sidney as Kendra. She was in Ginger Dead Man, Evil Bong, and she was in a bunch of them. Corona Zombies. Now, I've seen previous Barbie and Kendra movies, and this is a new Barbie. Kendra, I believe, is the same Kendra. But Barbie, I think this is the new one. They used to have like a really blonde woman who did it. Joe Bob Briggs is in this as John Bloom. I don't know why it says John Bloom in the thing, but it's Joe Bob. It's Joe Bob Briggs. If you don't know who Joe Bob Briggs is, I'm kind of surprised you're watching this. He's doing The Last Drive-In on Shudder. He was in Casino and Monster Vision, of course, from the 90s with the bad old horror movies and everything they used to show. Diana Prince as Darcy. She's the co-host male girl for Joe Bob on The Last Drive-In on Shudder. She was in Evil Bong 888 also. Halloween Ends. I remember watching that in theaters, Halloween Ends, and I was like, wait a minute, that was Darcy. As it goes by her, she's only in for 20 seconds, that sort of thing. And then she also did Famous TNA 2. Felissa Rose as Stu Dio. Sleepaway Camp. It's Felissa Rose. Everyone knows Felissa Rose. Oh, my laptop died. Dave Sheridan as Dave. He does a quick cameo. The girls run into him kind of thing. He's Doofy from Scary Movie. And so he's kind of like that stupid guy in Scary Movie who ends up walking away at the end. He was in Devil's Rejects also, and Bubble Boy. And I think in Devil's Rejects he was a cop, a deputy, or something like that. Pristine Edge as Topless Girl number 1. Okay. She's in such classics as Lesbian Psychodramas 27, Bang Bus, My Friend's Lesbian Daughter 2, and Freaky Fembots. So keep an eye out for Pristine Edge. Okay, so it starts off with Barbie and Kendra. They're yapping on the couch. They're ditzy is kind of their shtick. They're talking about finding a man, one who will rearrange the furniture and rearrange my guts, is what one of them says. That's a good line. That's funny.
And not.
Rearrange the furniture.
Rearrange my gut.
Someone who looks sharp.
The girls see Joe Bob on TV, He's the perfect man. So they're going to Vegas because that's where his next driving thing is going to be at. The girls roll into Vegas on a motorcycle, a Harley. And Barbie apparently knows how to ride a motorcycle because they actually show her, and Kendra's on the back. They show her riding, and it's not like one of those cheap ones. They show her pulling into spots and everything, so she must know what she's doing. Or somebody showed her how to do it right before this movie. So, Felissa Rose ends up yelling at... We cut to Felissa Rose. She's yelling at some guy. She's buying the driving and it turned into a golf course, that sort of thing. Then the girls run into Dave Sheridan. So we got the cameo for Sheridan. And there's a pretty funny clip about him saying something about like if you wanna like touch my shoulders or whatever, it's $60. If you want a picture, it's $80. If you want this, it's $100. If you want me to touch your pussy, it's $200. But I'm allergic to cats. So they throw in the line of I'm allergic. That's fun. That's funny.
$120 if you want additional touching. That's $200. If you want me to pet a pussy, that's $300 because I'm allergic to cats.
So the girls meet, or the movie comes on in the drive-in, and the girls originally start off on the motorcycle, and then the one in the back is like, I can't see because the girl in the front, whatever. And there's a hearse next to them, so they hop into that, and they're watching a movie. So the thing about the Barbie and Kendra movies, this is like the fourth one. What they do is they find old movies and they dub over them. They either get the rights or they're copyright free, probably copyright free. And they dub over them their own lines that are funny and that sort of thing. So they make their own movie out of this old movie, and it makes it fun. So what we end up watching, it's Ruby from 1977. Riff Tracks did Ruby, and that's a good one, so you should check out the Riff Tracks Ruby. And this movie says, when it comes on, it says like the position at Ruby's drive-in. And I think they did that for like movie effect because they're at a drive-in and all that sort of thing. Because it's not actually called that, it's called Ruby. So it's kind of an Exorcist ripoff. It was 77. Exorcist was what? It was made in 73, came out in early 74, something like that. Yeah, something like that. So, and now I'm watching a dubbed version of Ruby, and it shows a different movie for 30 seconds. And I know what movie that is, and we'll get to it because they end up showing a whole lot more. And we go back to the girls, and they're in the hearse at the front, or they're in the front of the hearse, and then two topless girls pop up behind them in the hearse, and they start making out. Okay, this is the only reason they added this, because it's a 47-minute movie. It's Charles Band. They're kind of just, why not throw some movies in? It's one of those things, we got people, they made it this far, let's give them some movies. And they do. And that's where Pristine Edge comes in. Now, I'm not sure who plays Topless Girl number 2. I should look into that, though. Maybe I'll put it in the comments if I find out who it is. So, the girls realize in a very dramatic fashion that they are weirdos, and they're ashamed of it. And then we go back to watching a dubbed movie, and now we're watching Satan. Have you ever heard of Satan? No one's heard of Satan. It is the shot-for-shot remake of The Exorcist that was put out a year after the original Exorcist came out. Why would they do that? The Exorcist was a monster hit. And this is a low-budget, shot-for-shot remake of The Exorcist. That's so stinking weird to me. That's so weird to me that they would do that. Or that anyone would think, oh, this is a good idea. We should do this. But again, that's where bad movies come from. So, so we're watching, it's going back and forth between Ruby with dubs and Satan with dubs. And they're kind of making jokes. It's funny, and there are some good jokes in it. It's actually pretty funny. But in Ruby, there's people in the drive. It takes place at a drive-in theater owned by a woman named Ruby. So there's a lot of shots of a drive-in. So it's people at the Ruby drive-in watching Satan, and they're not actually in the original movie. I think they're watching the Attack of the 40-foot one, the 60-foot one. It's one of those ones. Attack of the Tall Woman. One of those movies in the original Ruby. But they put in Satan on this one, and they use the footage from Ruby. It's actually really cool the way they do the bouncing back and forth and kind of make you think that these people in the drive-in are the people that are with Barbie and Kendra. It's nicely done. The editing is actually surprisingly done well. It's pretty clever. And then we go back to the girls, and the girls run into Joe Bob and Darcy. And Joe Bob's feeling down. He's saying, like, hey, there's something weird tonight. I'm not really sure what's going on. And the girls were like, well, how can we help him? So they whip him out. But they do have pasties on. So, it's not full on or anything like that. So, and that cheers Joe Bob right up. He's like, hey, all right, I am good now. We are ready to go. But they forgot to tell what to tell Joe Bob. They're like, oh, we can't remember what we had to tell him. And then we go back to dubbing of Satan and Ruby. So a dub line joke in here was pretty funny. And I'm just going to put the little clip right here.
How do you get a nun pregnant?
I know where you're headed. Don't go there.
You dress her as an altar boy.
Back to girls in the car, and they're eating popcorn, and then this couple pops up behind them, and they talk about popcorn or something like that. It's a very unnecessary scene. Didn't need it. And then we go back to the dub movies, and then we go to, after 10 minutes of dub movie or whatever, we see Felissa Rose yelling, and the girls remember what they have to tell Joe Bob. And then we cut back to the dub movie, and there's a preview of an upcoming movie now. And it's Crash from 1976. There's so many movies named Crash, and this is not one of the top ones. They literally just show the trailer for Crash from 1976. It's just filling time, I guess, or something. Yeah. So, Joe Bob now, we see Joe Bob, and the girls run up. Felissa Rose says the drive-in is hers now. She's got the contract that Joe Bob signed. He thought he was signing, I think, for the night of doing the program. Darcy hits Felissa in the batch. She does like a with her purse right in her junk.
And how?
And the girls take the contract back and they give it to Joe Bob, and he's tearing it up and everything like that. And that's the end of it. And it's a short movie. 46, 47, something like that minutes. It's fun because of the dubbing jokes and everything like that are fun. It makes it fun. If you haven't seen those movies, I've seen Ruby. I've seen the Riff Tracks version of Ruby. Satan I'd never even heard of until this. And I don't want to see it because I've seen The Exorcist. And if you've seen me and Garrett's review over on Dominic Collective of The Exorcist, you'll know that I'm not a big fan of The Exorcist. And I give my reasons at the end of it. And if you want to go watch what my reason, it's probably the last 15 minutes is when I give my reasons of not liking it because everyone seems to love this movie. I think it's a generational thing. But you should go check it out. Let me know either here or there, whatever. But this movie is fun, and it's short. So if you're looking for something that's short and fun, and, it's a movie, and here's some jokes, that sort of thing. It's not really a horror or anything, but it's fun. I'd give it a shot. It's worth it. You're not going to waste too much time. If you're going to watch it on a second screen or something, play a game over here, watch it over there, it's a good movie to do that too. So I say give it a shot. Yeah, why not? So I guess that's it for this one. This is Bad Movies Deep Dive with me, Dave. And if you want to go check out or like serious movie or like actual horror movie reviews and stuff, check me out with Gary over on Dominic Collective. And that's it. See you next time.